I'm Kymberly Byers. Sorry about being a moment late here. Um, Again, I'm Kymberly. Over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to bike pack in a wide range of diverse locations, from the Appalachian Mountains to the Great Basin of Wyoming. I have bike packed in Michigan to the Gulf of Mexico, 29 states total. And everywhere I go, one of the things that I find is that people are like, hey, that's really cool, but I don't know how to get started in this, or I could never do this, things like that. And ultimately, what I want to do is bring bike packing to everyone, because I'm just an average cyclist. Anybody else can, if I can do it, anybody else can do this. Um, Again, I've been lucky enough to bike pack all over the United States, a total of 29 different states here in the US. And there's a few things I've learned. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years. Um, I bought a lot of extra gear that I didn't need to buy. Stuff that kind of worked but didn't work the way I expected. And ultimately, I want to empower you. I want to empower the people who are um, who are watching today. This is about you. This isn't. It's about empowering you. So what I'm trying to do here is make a cup of coffee, mocha to be specific, and for some reason I'm having issues getting this threaded on here. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm using a 4-ounce fuel canister. Most of the time, this is what I use. It fits into this cup here. Got my knees a little dirty. This is a Toaks 750 milliliter titanium cup. My friend Beth Ann is on today. Hi, Beth Ann. Appreciate it. It's an MSR Pocket Rocket, and any one of these fuel canisters will work. When I'm in a really remote area, I'll use an 8-ounce canister. But if I'm just bike packing for a day or two, this 4-ounce works pretty well. It usually lasts about 15 to 20 boils, which for me is usually about 3.5 days. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get out a detachable hose. And one of the things I really like about HydroPack bladders is they have these detachable hoses. And as you can see, here's my bladder that I drink out of. The whole bite valve thing works pretty well. So when you're out here camping, having a detachable hose like this is really handy, because if you don't have a detachable hose, how do you get the water? Of course, I'm starting to have issues not getting the water out. Why not? Good question. This is embarrassing because it should be working. There we are. Just gotta get it started. So there we go. Got a little air block. So as you can see, just hold the water up above the pipe valve with the little cover removed, and bam, this works pretty well. Now, when I'm bike packing, I generally will have at least 2 bladders with me if I'm going fairly remote. If it's not too hot, one's sufficient. And then, as you can see, just lower the bladder, detach this, and we'll put that hose away. That's how I do that. We got, I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. We have Richard who's joined us. Thank you, Richard. I really appreciate you tuning in today. We got some heat. We're going to put that on here. It's about 70 some degrees, so it's probably not going to need a lot of temperature here to make coffee. While I'm talking about bladders, we're going to stick this back in here. Not all bladders are created equal. Here's my coffee. So again, I like a detachable hose, because if it's not detachable, like this one here, I'm kind of fumbly here, but if it's not detachable, you can get that out like that. But if it's not, then how do you get the water out of here? So not all hoses are detachable like these. That's one of the most important things to look for. This particular bladder, though, what I don't like about it is this screw on top. For me, I find that these screw on tops, there are times when I don't get it tight enough or whatever, and it ends up draining down my back. What I really like about the HydroPack bladders is this style of closure like this. Okay, so close it like that, you flip that over, and then boom. Pretty handy dandy, works really well, not going to leak. It's either closed or it's not closed. So we're going to put this stuff out of the way over here. Again, with this, with the detachable hose, I like this particular one because it detaches pretty easy. We stick that in there like that. Okay, where were we? We were talking about why we're here today. So today, I really want to talk about, oh my goodness, I have a phone call coming in from Tracy Richards, and we are going to decline that right this second. Tracy, love you, but now's not the right time. Toaks titanium spoon, really like this thing. Tracy really wants to talk to me, not sure why. Probably should have answered it. But one thing about these titanium spoons is, for myself, I like the polished bowl. Otherwise, it just tastes kind of funky. You know, the texture just of the spoon's not right. We're going to use that in a few minutes. But we're here today to talk about, I'm going to try to lean in and read what Richard has asked. Oh yeah, so it's not cold and wet, rainy here, Richard. If I could send you some of this sunshine, I definitely would. But if you got sunshine right now in the middle of the night, I think people would probably be a little scared. Anyways, so we're here today to talk about sleep systems. First thing I really want to talk about is this sleeping pad. Now, I don't have this completely full right this second, just because I was adjusting the cushion. The sleeping pad is one of the most important aspects of any sleep system, because if you don't have an effective pad to keep you off the ground, what's going to end up happening is you're going to try to heat the ground with your body, and the only heat source that you have is your body. So a lot of people are like, you add the different bags to your bike, you add all the gear, next thing you know, you can't even pick it up. And 50, 60 pounds, if you can save the 18 ounces that this pad may weigh, plus the little baggie and the pillow, you start to say, you know what, a pound, that's a lot of weight. And so you try to save this weight. Unfortunately, what happens is you end up getting cold because you're heating the ground. And so if you're heating the ground all night, and let's say you shiver for 15 minutes, you're going to burn 100 calories. So if you get cold for an hour, you're going to be equivalent to one of these cookies. Now, this is a Larry and Lenny's cookies. I love these things. At 4 ounces, it's 450 calories. It's really dense and actually tastes pretty good too while we're at it. So having an effective sleeping system is really, again, it's key to performing on the bike, because if you don't sleep well, you're going to be cold. That's already warm. I'm going to turn that off. But you're going to be cold and you're going to shiver, which means you wake up really hungry. So today we're going to make a mocha, because let's face it, who wants to just drink coffee? So my mocha recipe is really simple. If I can get this open, is 1 instant coffee stick. Gotta flip it there. So just a quick instant coffee stick. Pack out what you pack in, and a hot chocolate mix. Leaving some for the bears here. Hopefully the bears don't get addicted to hot chocolate. Kind of heat that up here, still a little bit, and boom. We have a hot, steaming mocha. Love this stuff. You ever meet me? Iced coffee or mocha? Man, it's good. So, back to the sleeping pad. Do you need to go with an air mattress? Not necessarily. But this particular air mattress is a 3-season air mattress, which means it's good for winter or for spring through fall, not necessarily winter. This upcoming weekend, I'm going to be using this mattress because I'm going to be camping on the shores of Lake Superior in a remote island close to the Canadian border. Supposed to be forecasted to be pretty chilly, so I need to keep myself off the ground, and this mattress is key to that. We're going to talk about the pillow in a minute. So this particular weekend, I'm going to end up using a sleeping bag. Now, sleeping bag or quilt, doesn't really matter which you use, but there's some definite differences, and each has their plus and their minuses. So we're going to talk about the sleeping bag to begin with. This is a Big Agnes Mystic UL 15, which means it's good to 15 degrees. Paired with this mattress, which is not good to 15 degrees. That 15 degrees will probably be pushing it, but I'm pretty confident that this will be good down into the 20s, which I'm not exactly expecting to happen this weekend. One of the things about an air mattress, a sleeping bag, is that they have a zipper. One of the downsides is that they have a zipper. But I like this particular Big Agnes sleeping bag because I can stick my pillow in here. Now for me, I really need a pillow. I can't sleep without one. If I do, I end up getting a neck ache the next day, and that's no good. The other really cool thing about this particular Big Agnes sleeping pad is this, and the sleeping bag itself, is this retention system that goes like this. Okay, stick this in here like that. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine. Get all this in here like that. Flip it over, and boom, you got this nice, comfy bed to sleep in. Now the biggest reason why I'm going to use this weekend is that this enclosure right here. I really like to have my head covered up when I'm sleeping. And being able to mummy myself in here is going to be, for me, this weekend when it's down into the 30s, winds howling off of Lake Superior, and I'm on a scenic overlook. To me, that is pretty important. Kind of hoping more people would have showed up today, but that's okay. So anyways, that is a sleeping bag, okay? Other people are like, well, use a quilt, and I use a quilt. So the quilt that I use is this one. This is a Relevate design quilt. Now, what's interesting about a quilt versus sleeping bag is there are no zippers. There's a sewn foot box to put your feet in, but there's no zipper to get caught in anything. The other thing is that there's no bottom. You know, there's no bottom to it. Now, when you're using a sleeping bag like this one, Of course, the bottom is on this bag is retaining the mattress. But this part of the bag, this part right here, is not providing you any warmth. So what's the real point of having it, right? Because ultimately, this material takes up space. It takes up weight, okay? Affects the compressibility of the bag. And let's face it, going up the side of a mountain, every little bit helps. So the other thing about a quilt that I like, especially on a warm summer evening, is just kind of getting yourself like this, then covering yourself up. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do you retain this to the sleeping pad? It's actually pretty easy. This particular quilt comes with a retention system like this. Okay, put that on there like that. You put this in, and then you got to kind of adjust that over. When you're ready to snap it in, snap that in. This part here goes underneath like that, and voila! You have, when you get cold, you just grab that in the middle of the night here, because I already cinched it down. Because I didn't uncinch the last time I used it. We stick that in there like that. You're nice and comfy. You do have this drawstring. You can pull it nice and tight around your shoulders. But you're asking yourself, what about my head? Well, part of your sleep system is going to be having your clothing. And so I have this fancy stocking hat that I really like. Take it with me. And ultimately, I'll end up wearing that at night. Another part of my sleep system that I use is a pair of shorts to get out of the bike shorts. And for us ladies, bra to be comfortable in. Just to let things breathe. You got to let things breathe. Now this weekend is going to be cold. So I have a pair of insulated tights. This pair by Gore actually has a chamois in it. I will probably wear these over a pair of bike shorts while I'm biking. I have a sweatshirt and a base layer. And then last but not least, I have a pair of socks, a pair of wool socks. So in a nutshell, that's my sleep system. That's what I use. Anybody have any questions? No real questions at this point. I'm probably going to end the video then. For those of you that joined us, Richard and B, I appreciate it. I'm Kymberly Byers. Ta-ta for now.